Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Right. We're halfway into our week. It is a Wednesday morning. And the theme for our meditation today is the observer. The observer, being able to take a step back and look at ourselves, see ourselves with a little bit of distance. Being able to see things that come up inside of us, for us, with just a little bit of space. Good morning, Pat, and good morning, Estelle. Very good seeing you on that side. Our teacher this week is Wayne Dyer. I'm sure you're all familiar with Wayne Dyer's work. And I'll share with you a couple of his thoughts before we get into our meditation today. To see who else I can say hello to. Somebody, good morning. Hey, Wade, good morning. It's really cool seeing you here, man. I hope you have time to actually sit down with us and meditate for a couple of minutes. Right, Wayne Dyer's first words say, beginning today, make the decision to love and accept yourself just the way you are. Beginning today, make the decision to love and accept yourself just the way you are. Say your name, followed by the words, I love you, and make that your daily mantra, repeating it often, especially during times of stress. Karabo, good morning. Maggie, good morning. Melanie, good morning. It's very good to see you guys there. Take a moment to try it right now. Could you say your name and add the words, I love you? I'll go first. It's very easy. I can actually see me on the screen. So I can go, hey Pia, I love you, dude. Try it out. Can you say your name followed by the words, I love you? Can you make this your daily mantra? Can you repeat it often, especially during times of stress? Let it be your first thought upon arising and the last thing you think before you fall asleep at night. This simple act of self-courtship can profoundly change your world. Try it for yourself and see. Make a personal decision to be in love with the most beautiful, exciting, worthy person ever. You. He says this simple act of self-courtship can profoundly change your world. But it's also normal that it doesn't necessarily feel that way the first time you try it. It doesn't necessarily feel as though it changes your world. It feels awkward, it feels weird, it feels strange. Because we were never really taught to do it this way. Hey Sarah, good morning. It's very good to see you. Try it out. Say your name and follow it with the words, I love you. Still from Wayne Dyer, self-esteem comes from the self. It's the same thing as he just said. Can you find your acceptance from yourself? Can you find esteem for yourself from yourself? Self-esteem comes from the self, not from acquisitions and other approval. This is an inside job. It has to come from you. It's nice when it comes from other people, but it's powerful when it comes from you. As you awaken to your divine nature, you will begin to appreciate beauty in everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience. That is how it spills over. It starts with us being able to recognize divinity inside of ourselves. And when we start seeing the source of all good in ourselves, we can't help but see it in others as well. Right, our meditation today is called The Observer. Hey Linda, good morning. It's good to see you there. The Observer. It's a practice of taking a step back, kind of stepping outside of yourself and having a good look at what you see. And seeing how this practice leads to us being able to do better at doing that even in the moment. Even in a moment of pressure, be able to have tiny little bit of distance and go, I can respond differently even under this pressure. So if you're ready, they slip away. You can close your eyes, and we'll start with the first few big breaths together. Here we go. Take a deep breath in. And out. Take a deep breath in. And out. A deep inhale. And let it go. A deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. Let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. As you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine and lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height and a belly full of air, let all of it go and soften. As you exhale, soften your spine. Slump down your shoulders and drop your head. Your only job right now, in this first phase of meditation, is to take yourself by the hand and lead your body to softness. With every exhale, can you melt a little bit more than the one before? Our journey today is one of being the observer. So let's try it in the easiest way possible first. While you continue your full body breathing, I want you to picture yourself as a child. The little you just playing. What was your favorite thing to do, your favorite place to play when you were a kid? Continue your breathing. watch the child version of you playing carefree. Can you look at the child version of you, say your name, and follow the words by I love you. Can you look at the teenage version of you? And maybe the teenage version of you from time to time had some tough emotions to deal with. Maybe not. Maybe your experience was different. But for the next few breaths, can you take a good look at the teenage version of you? Can you say your name and follow it with I love you? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together. Helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. And roll out your neck muscles. Make it big half circles to the left and also to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward. Big circles, but keep it nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Can you curve your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone? That means you're tilting your head in one direction, you're tilting your hips away in the opposite direction. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch, move, adjust. Any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. stepped into a space of presence as much as we can. We'll turn inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long, slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel the muscles of your body. Feel them soften, and pay attention to whichever muscles need a bit more softening. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow. Your shoulders are slowly falling. Your body is slowly softening. And you are slowly slipping deeper and deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow. As you breathe in through your nose, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. For a few moments, you are holding you. You're holding all of you within you. Hold your breath only for as long as it feels really comfortable, followed by a long, slow exhale. With the next big breath, as you dive deep into you, think about this term, this idea, this thought, being the observer. Take your next big breath. want you to bring to your mind a recent experience in the last week, the last month, of yourself finding, of you finding yourself, reacting in a moment to some kind of a pressure, some kind of a trigger, reacting in a way that you don't feel particularly proud of. It doesn't necessarily have to be something serious, but it also could be. Do you have a recent example of you reacting in a way that you wish you had handled a little bit differently? Take your next big breath. Maybe your example is not so recent, and that is fine. Whatever example comes to you will work. In order to have a better idea, a better view, a better connection with this reactive part of you, with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, can you describe this picture of you physically? Could you perhaps remember what you were wearing? Can you see what you were busy doing? Were you walking, sitting, pacing, lying down? With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you can describe physically this example of you, this reactive part of you. Take your next big breath. In this example, while you were being reactive, while you were acting in a way you wish you had slightly done differently, can you describe what it felt like inside your body? What did it feel like to be in your body? Was your heart racing? Did your head hurt? Were your palms sweaty? Did your throat feel constricted? Whatever your examples are, could you describe what it felt like to be in your body in that moment? Take your next big breath. Were you speaking in that moment? Were you shouting in that moment? What were the words you were using? Can you remember the language you used in that specific moment? Take your next big breath. What were the thoughts that you were thinking in that moment of reactivity? If right now you're able to reach out to that version of you in that example and say, just a moment, I'd love to ask you a question. If you could ask that part of you, the part of you that was so reactive, to explain to you what is it that you're afraid will happen. Just imagine you could ask this question. What is it that you are afraid will happen? Are you trying to prevent something from happening? What is it that you're trying to prevent? Take your next big breath. Can you get a sense of this example of you? This example of you being reactive in a moment of pressure is actually just trying his or her best. Trying to do what she thought in that moment was right, or trying to convince someone to do what they thought was right. Are you able to see this example of you was also just trying his or her best? Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness into every fiber of your being, even softer still. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. No more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. And this example of you, example you can look back on and maybe not particularly be proud of your reaction. But in this example of you, are you able to see how this part of you was really just trying her best, doing his best in the moment to get to a better outcome? It might have been misguided, might have been the wrong reaction. Do you get a sense that this part of you was trying? Can you find acceptance, even for this part of you reacting in an undesirable way? Can you find acceptance for this you? And dare I say, can you find love for this human? I'm not saying you should wish to repeat the same actions again. All I'm asking for is an understanding. Can you love this human who's clearly just trying? And if you can, if you're able to look at this part of you with acceptance and love, then who are you being right now? Which is this part of you that can look at mistakes and still say, I love you? Who are you being in this moment? This witness of yourself, this observer that can look at you want you to know that the better you are able to be this observer, even if it's just in hindsight, even if you can just look at past reactions and have a bit of kindness for yourself, the easier this becomes, the more you'll start finding yourself becoming aware of this space, even when you are triggered, even when you are under pressure. This doesn't always have to be a perfect exercise, but if it happens once, it can happen again. And you can trust it'll happen more. You can be triggered and remember, I don't have to react in this way. There's a different part of me that takes a step back. And from that place, from being the observer, I can choose a different response. If it happens once, it can happen again. And if it happens again, it can happen more. The more you start looking at you through the eyes of your soul, the more you're practicing being your soul. The more you practice being this observer, the more you will find yourself acting from this space too. But it starts with acceptance. It starts with accepting you as human, fallible. Of course, we'll make mistakes. Once you can really forgive you, your space opens up. And you'll find yourself acting more and more from your soul. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this space. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to look at me with kindness. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for seeing clearly and learning deeply. But judging myself and attacking myself does not cause better behavior. In fact, the complete opposite. The more I judge myself and attack myself, the more I react out of fear. The more reactive I am. Take a deep breath in. having seen so clearly how love, kindness, being gentle with me opens up a space in which I have a lot more time to choose. And that over time, in this spaciousness, it becomes easier and easier to reach for the response that I'd really want. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. It starts with you choosing to love you, choosing to be kind to the worst parts of you. And I'm saying worst parts in inverted commas, because they're not bad at all. But it all shifts when we can have acceptance for an understanding of the worst parts of ourselves. Nothing here is bad. Nothing here is self-sabotage. Nothing here wants to do bad things and have the wrong reaction. But we drive ourselves into a corner when we attack ourselves. And then the only options we have are being reactive, lashing out because we feel scared. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you, Sunmari. Everyone else in the back of there, I'll see who I can see. Melanie, Karabo, Pat, and whoever else might be back there. Maggie as well. Have an awesome day. It starts with being kind to you. And yeah, it changes. It becomes different. It becomes easier to find that space. Love the part of you that make the mistakes, and just be the part of you that is your soul. Have an awesome day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.